Hi, I am Sanjay Patel. In the previous lecture, we have proved some working rules of limit of function. We have proved the first three rules. Okay. In this lecture, I am going to prove the remaining working rules. So first, I am going to prove that limit x tends to a 1 upon f of x is equal to 1 upon L. Remember that we are given limit as x tends to a fx is equal to L. Okay. And in this special result, number 4, it is required that fx is non-zero in order to define 1 upon fx, the reciprocal function. And also, the limit L is also must be non-zero in order to take the reciprocal of the limit L. So these two things are also given. So let us start the proof and then we'll prove the remaining two. The result number 5 is just an application of 3 and 4. If you just use 3 and 4, this follows immediately. So basically, we have to prove only result 4 and 6 in this. So again, let us prove the result number 4. We are given these things. Let me write again. Limit x tends to a, fx is equal to L. That is first thing. The function is not zero everywhere in its domain. For all x belongs to domain of the function f, whatever the domain is. And also L is non-zero real number. What is to prove? We want to prove limit x tends to a 1 upon f of x is equal to 1 upon L. Okay. So let us think first. Remember, to prove that limit of 1 upon fx is equal to 1 upon L, we must check the definition of limit, that for every epsilon we can find some delta such that this expression 1 upon fx minus 1 upon L, this we want to make less than epsilon for some delta satisfying the condition that 0 less than mod of x minus a is less than delta. So concentrate on this expression. First we are thinking, this is our thinking process. We are writing in the square bracket. So this I can take LCM here and write as L into fx, and the numerator is L minus f of x, which we can simply write using the properties of modulus. Mod a minus b is same as mod of b minus a. So I am writing mod of fx minus L in the numerator, and this denominator I am writing as mod L into mod of f of x. As the limit as x tends to fx equal to L, this numerator is in our control. This I can make less than anything I want. Okay. So if I can make this variable quantity in the denominator, this is only a disturbing factor. If I make this thing less than some constant, say 1 upon 3 or 1 upon k, something like that, then this finally 1 upon this thing will be a constant. And then I can make fx minus L less than epsilon by that constant. So this will be cancelled and finally will get less than epsilon. You understand? So if I can make this less than mod of fx minus L upon mod of L, and this 1 upon fx if I can make less than k, some number k, which I will find, then this quantity, whole quantity can be made less than epsilon very easily. So this is our basic idea. So I will be making this 1 upon mod of f of x less than some constant, and then I will think of this, what should be taken. Okay. So let us start our proof. Let me complete this. So this is an extra work or thinking process for proving the result. So our first job is to make 1 upon mod of f of x less than some constant. Okay. So we have, I'm starting this way, we have limit as x tends to a, f of x is equal to L. This is given. Okay. And remember, we also have L is not 0. The value of L is not 0. So I can say mod of L is positive. And that implies mod of L by 2, this number is also positive. So for this number, I want to take and apply the definition. I want to take this number as epsilon and want to apply the definition of limit for this fact as fx tends to L. Okay. So therefore, for mod of L by 2 as epsilon greater than 0, there exists some number, say delta 1 greater than 0, such that whenever 0 less than mod of x minus a less than delta 1 implies mod of fx minus L is less than mod of L by 2, that is epsilon here actually. Okay. Now this I want to apply here a result from the properties of modulus, which you know very well, that mod of A minus mod A minus mod B is always less than or equal to mod of A minus B. So using this fact, I can write mod of mod fx minus mod L, which is less than or equal to mod of fx minus L, and that is less than, because of this previous step, it is less than mod of L by 2. So combining this thing, this and this, what I will get is for every x satisfying this condition. So let me write here, thus for 0 less than mod of x minus less than delta 1, what will you get is mod of mod fx minus mod L. This implies mod of fx minus mod of L is less than mod of L by 2. Okay. Now I want to remove this outer modulus in the LHS of this inequality, and this I can write as mod of L minus mod of L by 2 less than mod of fx is less than mod of L plus mod of L by 2. You know, we are using that inequality, mod of x minus a less than delta implies a minus delta less than x less than a plus delta. So this is equal to, this will get as, this is mod L minus mod L by 2 is L mod of L by 2, x minus x by 2 is x by 2, less than mod of fx and less than 3 times mod L by 2. What I want to do is want to make 1 upon mod of f of x less than some constant. Now we are in the right way. Remember, L is not 0. So taking reciprocal in this inequality will not create any problem, since fx is also non-zero everywhere in the domain and L is also given as a non-zero number in the hypothesis. So if I take reciprocal, here we have A less than B less than C. So 1 upon C less than 1 upon B less than 1 upon A. So I am writing this way, 2 upon 3 into mod L is less than 1 upon mod of f of x is less than 2 upon mod L. Okay. What is useful here is only this much. So I need only this thing. Remember that we have for all x satisfying this condition, A less than B less than C is true. Means this less than this less than this is true. So I can use only this much which is required. So I am writing it again. So thus, whenever 0 less than mod of x minus a less than delta 1, what we have is 1 upon mod of f of x less than 2 upon mod L is proved. Let us call this as result number 1. Now if I replace that this 2 upon mod L in our discussion which we have written here, see, I told you that I wanted to find some k. If I replace this 1 upon f of x by 2 upon mod L, so this is less than 2 upon mod L into mod L and mod of fx minus, sorry, not mod of fx, but it is mod of fx minus L. So it is mod of fx minus L. So we'll get this thing here. You understand? Because I have made this 1 upon mod of f of x less than this 2 upon mod L. Okay. So finally, now everything is in our control because fx minus L can be made less than epsilon. If I choose my epsilon for the definition of limit for the fact fx tends to L as epsilon by 2 into mod L square. So let us do that. So I will take epsilon by reciprocal of this number. This is 2 upon L square. I want mod L square upon 2 into epsilon so that this will be cancelled. So that is the basic idea. So let me write this way. Start with epsilon greater than 0 be given. Okay. And this implies we have epsilon by 2 times mod of L square. This number is positive because L is not 0 implies mod L or mod of L square is also not 0, rather it is positive. So this is not a problem. As limit of fx as x tends to a is L, for this epsilon, I will choose this epsilon for epsilon by or epsilon to mod L square by 2 greater than 0, there exists some delta 2, let me call it delta 2 because I have already used one delta, such that whenever 0 less than mod of x minus a is less than delta 2, we have fx minus L less than epsilon into mod of L square by 2, and this is my result number 2. Okay. So remember these two results, and I want result 1 and 2 both hold simultaneously. So I will be taking the minimum of delta 1 and delta 2 as usual. So let us put delta is equal to minimum of delta 1 and delta 2. Okay. So delta is positive and also delta is less than or equal to delta 1 as well as less than or equal to delta 2. So if we have 0 less than mod of x minus a less than delta, then we can consider this expression which is required to be made less than epsilon. This is our aim. 1 upon fx minus 1 upon L I want to make less than epsilon. Now that can be done in this manner. If you take this, if you simplify this as we have explained earlier, this I can write as fx minus L or L minus fx because mod is there, so there is no problem. L into f of x. Okay. And this still we can write, say this is less than say let me write 1 upon mod L into 1 upon f of x. 1 upon f of x is less than 2 upon mod L into mod of fx minus L. Let me write this way because of result number 1. What we written in result number 1? Result number 1 is this. 1 upon mod of f of x is less than 2 upon L whenever mod of x minus a is less than delta 1. Our delta is less than delta 1. So 1 upon mod of f of x I can write less than 2 upon mod L. So this thing is replaced here. This fx 1 upon fx is replaced by 2 upon mod L because of 1. And this is less than, this thing is 2 upon mod L square into fx minus L is less than epsilon by 2 into mod of L square because of result number 2. Here I should write L mod of L square. Mod of L into mod of L is mod of L square. So this will be cancelled, and what I will get is simply this is equal to epsilon. So what I have proved is clear that for every epsilon greater than 0, thus for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists some delta such that whenever 0 less than mod of x minus a less than delta implies mod of 1 upon f of x minus 1 upon L is less than epsilon is proved. This thing is proved. So that is nothing but limit x tends to a 1 upon fx is equal to 1 upon L. Remember, this we can use only under two restrictions, that one is fx is non-zero everywhere in the domain and L is not equal to 0. So if fx tends to L, 1 upon fx tends to 1 upon L is the main conclusion. So you have proved the result number 4 also. Let us go to the next one, which is a very simple thing, just application of result 3 and 4. What is to prove is this, or let me write this way. We are given, first of all, let me make everything clear. We are given that fx tends to L as x tends to a, gx tends to m, and also we are given that gx is not 0 for all x and m is also a non-zero number. And what is to prove? We want to prove that limit of fx upon gx is L upon m. So the proof is very easy. Now we consider limit x tends to a fx upon gx. Here we don't have to use the epsilon delta because we already proved the result number 3 and 4, which I will be using in this. This I can add as fx into 1 upon gx. And remember, as m is not 0 and gx is also not 0, since gx tends to m, 1 upon gx tends to 1 upon m. So I can write this equals to, by using the working rules for product of the two functions, this I can write because all limits under consideration exist. This implies this into limit x tends to a 1 upon g of x. Okay, so this is equal to L and this is equal to 1 upon m because of 3 and 4. So the result is proved. This is equal to L by m. So it is straightforward. If you are interested, you can also prove independently using epsilon delta method, but that will be a long proof. So this is better, but still as an exercise you can try this one using epsilon delta method and prove this working rule number 5 independently. The last working rule we are going to prove is this thing, number 6. We are given that limit x tends to a, f of x is equal to L, and to prove, we want to prove that limit x tends to a mod of f of x, this mod of f of x, absolute value of fx. So mod of fx is equal to mod of L. So it is very simple. Let us start with the epsilon greater than 0 be given. This I will prove indirectly, that epsilon greater than 0 be given. And by hypothesis, since as fx tends to L, there exists some delta greater than 0, such that whenever 0 less than mod of x minus a less than delta, implies we have this fx minus L is less than epsilon. Okay, and now you know very well that mod of a minus b is always greater than or equal to mod a minus mod b. Mod of mod a minus mod b. So this I can write mod of fx minus mod of L is less than epsilon, because, so this is the important step, you must write that mod of mod a minus mod b is always less than or equal to mod of a minus b for all the real numbers. Here a is equal to fx and b is equal to L, you can think and use that result. So it is proved. For every epsilon, the same delta will work here, whatever is for fx. So let me rewrite. So for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta such that 0 less than mod of x minus a less than delta implies mod of mod fx minus mod of L is less than epsilon. Okay, so that is clearly limit x tends to a, mod of f of x is equal to mod of L. So this is proved. So we have proved all the working rules of limit of the function. Okay, we'll see some remarks based on this in the next lecture. So thank you.